Hi cuties. So for a few months now, I've had my eyes on a fresh new take on analog horror in the video game space in a little title called No, I'm Not a Human. Of course, anyone that knows me, Jack the Ripper, I love a good psychological horror experience, one that doesn't really rely on cheap jump scares and whatnot, something to really get the brain amped up by uncanny valley designs and fear of the unknown. So when I saw the trailer for No I'm Not a Human that showed it's basically Papers, Please with an analog horror twist, I said sign me right the hell up, okay? A demo was released a few months ago that I played and loved, but I wanted to wait until the full release to hop on here and talk about it with y'all. I've just been having a blast all day checking out this video game, and right off the rip, if you're impatient, I'll just say this game is incredible, okay? It's spooky, funny, has a myriad of different endings, and I think it's one of the best pieces of media in this specific subgenre of horror, okay? But now let me just yap about the things that I really enjoy about it, because like I said, I've been playing this all day trying to rack up all the different scenarios and subplots. Seeing as how this game is pretty story focused, I'm going to let you all know that there won't be any spoilers here, okay? I want anybody that's interested to finish watching this video and support the devs and go play it and buy it because it's an awesome game, okay? No I'm Not a Human starts off showing you this intro of what appears to be a fella living a regular life. You play as somebody that inherits his father's house right as an apocalypse starts, forming from an explosion on the sun apparently. And on the first day, your neighbor pulls up and is like, hey man, that explosion caused a bunch of these uncanny valley ass motherfuckers named visitors to appear. And they're like humans, but have certain small key feature differences that set them apart from real people. That is the main gameplay mechanic here, sniffing out these freaky ass bastards so they can't enter your house. Now you may be thinking, well, Jack the Ripper, why would I let anybody in? And let me just say, I tried that on my first run. There's a primary antagonist that's on the cover of the game known as the Pale Man, and this motherfucker senses when you have nobody in your house, okay? He will stop by periodically and ask if you're alone, and if you actually are alone, he busts down the door and mollywops you, ending your entire run. And I'm not gonna lie, I literally died within like 20 minutes on my first playthrough because I was being a puss and I didn't want anybody to come inside. It's good to let people in though, because a lot of them give you helpful items like more saves, energy to help you throughout the day and shit like that. So No I'm Not a Human has a day and night cycle. During the day, you walk through the house and investigate the rooms, and the people you let in will be inhabiting them. At night is when you actually decide on the people coming to knock on your door, because it's so hot out during the day, everybody decides to roam in the later hours. Got it? Every day, whether it be from the radio or the TV, you learn new key differences that these visitors have that separate them from us. It could be like blood red eyes, a lack of armpit hair, or a perfect set of Hollywood-ass veneers. But you get a few points of energy you have to spend interrogating the folks in your home. If you got 3 people in there and only 2 points of energy, for example, you gotta really be careful and use your detective skills to weed out the creepy bastards. I am under the impression that a lot of these characters are randomized in terms of them being human or visitor, but I'm not 100% sure on that because I truly haven't played it enough. So keep an eye on that if you do decide to play it, but I really just don't know. Now, you may be thinking like, well, what happens if a visitor is in your home? Simply blow their head smooth the fuck off. There are signs afterwards to tell you if you made the right call. Humans will be in body bags, and the visitors will simply just be a corpse on the ground, and then you get like a jump scare confirmation, almost. The gameplay loop is super addicting. Coming from someone who's a big fan of That's Not My Neighbor and Papers, Please, you gotta be locked in playing this shit, trying to find any subtle differences to stay safe. Something I find annoying though is in Papers, Please and That's Not My Neighbor, you're asking the questions at the door or at the gate to stop people from coming in, right? But in No I'm Not a Human, you ask a couple of simple little interview questions like, hey, what are you doing around here? But you can't really press anybody on the spot, which I think defeats the whole purpose of staying safe. To find out if someone is truly a visitor, the only way you can know is they have to come in your house first. Like what the fuck kind of safety is that? I know it's a little nitpicky as it's the entire game's primary mechanic, but it just rubs me the wrong way. I don't know. There are quite a few characters here that I really vibe with, and since I invited a visitor in on accident, you'll just wake up and they'll be dead as shit, leaving you to figure out who did it, and that is heartbreaking for real. But this constant tension is what makes the game so brilliant to me. It's a similar feeling you get when playing a Papers, Please, you know? Deciding if you should take bribes, making super hard decisions. I just love that shit. No I'm Not a Human has a bunch of hidden scenarios and subplots and characters asking you to make these super hard decisions that all lead to 10 different endings. I've got 4 already in just a couple hours, and that's just with me fucking around doing whatever I want, really. But I got it installed on my Steam Deck as well, so as soon as I'm finished recording this video, I'ma hop on there and get the other 6, because the gameplay loop is truly so addicting to me. One thing that I'm not a big fan of is the save system. The problem with a game like this that encourages you to hop right back in after ending a run is, there's just simply not enough saving here. You start off with 1 jar of kombucha, and that's how you save. Certain neighbors and shit will try to bribe you with more, but obviously that's randomized. So you kind of have to pick a really good, safe place to save that isn't too far in the run at a critical crossroads, but also not super early, so you don't have the equivalent of like a Dark Souls 2 run back, you know what I mean? I just think adding in a manual save option here is the way to go. I mean, I don't want to have to waste so much of my time simply catching up to where I was before. And I don't believe that it would trivialize the game and make it ridiculously easy or anything. I just think it helps the replayability. This is the first day of its release when I'm recording this video, so obviously shit is privy to change, and I truly hope the dev adds more ways to save. I mean, even an autosave after every day would be nice. Another fun mechanic they added is the ability to use the phone, which is super cool because you'll get phone numbers that can help you if you become a visitor yourself. There's a chat roulette number, and just a bunch of cool things for you to discover, and I don't want to spoil too much for y'all because, go play it. I just adore the art style here. Super creepy character sprites mixed in with the first-person gameplay when you roam around the house. Have I even mentioned that there's a cat? Because there's a fucking cat, and I love cats. I don't know, man, this game just has so much to love about it. The looming, depressing soundtrack mixed with all the freaky designs leads me to believe that this might be one of the best analog horror things just ever. No, I'm Not a Human is something they could expand and build off of. I know for damn sure I'd buy the hell out of some DLC for this game, and it has the potential to be a big indie smash hit that all the biggest tubers do playthroughs on, Every run of this game is a daunting, heavy, critical experience that forces you to be on your toes as you weed out the nasty bitches while trying to stay secluded with just enough people to stay alive. I absolutely love it. I haven't even mentioned yet that it's also only like $14 right now. I think it's on a launch day sale, and this isn't an ad or anything. I just truly think you get what you pay for and more here. Anybody that's even slightly interested, trust me when I say you will enjoy yourself when playing this video game. And as far as the coveted, trademark, copyrighted, certified Ripper ranking system, I would love to plug this wonderful indie title in at a solid 8 rips out of 10 rips. My only cons being the save system and a weird little glitch involving switching from the keyboard to a gamepad. This game is a perfect indie title to do a few runs of and just beat in a weekend, Let me know down below, is this something that you guys would be interested in, or do you just want me to stop fucking talking about it already? Talk to me. That's really about it though, y'all. Love ya. Bye!